This April of the current year confronts us with the arrival of an important cosmic phenomenon, one known as an eclipse. For those who still don't know, on April 8th of this year, a total solar eclipse will take place, an event that holds deep significance in many cultures, serving as an omen of an era of transformation and profound evolution. Some eagerly await the moment when we can witness the grandeur of the stars and the universe parading before us in this perfectly orchestrated act, while many others have ended up condemning this phenomenon in a negative light. According to certain beliefs, this is nothing more than a sign warning us of a time of darkness and punishment for humanity. However, over time, we've seen how many beliefs and ideas are implanted, and thanks to the echo they generate, end up being taken as true, when in reality they have no foundation. That's why at this moment we are going to explore together the most outstanding points of this phenomenon, which is not only an important moment scientifically, but also holds a deeply significant and spiritually important meaning at its core. A celestial phenomenon. Although in theory, an eclipse is nothing more than the alignment of the sun with the moon, in reality, this meeting signifies much more and must be seen beyond the simple. We cannot merely settle for the obvious or apparent. Instead, this is a moment to appreciate the deeper side of this event. The eclipse, besides being an important cosmic and astral event, also possesses a celestial and energetic connotation that few manage to appreciate, but which we are daring to explore at this present moment. As commonly known, eclipses are phenomena that arise from the movement of the stars, which, having completed a cycle of movement and certain conditions, coincide and reveal to the world the unique gathering of those stars that mark for us the night and the day. But besides signalling the passing of days and nights, what significance and connotation do day and night hold? Commonly, the day is associated with awakening, activity, and movement, with the flourishing of things and the opportunity to shine, thus being linked to goodness and positive energies. On the other hand, night is associated with a time of inactivity, rest, the blossoming of desires and darker aspects, as well as the deepest and most sinful desires. This is evidenced in popular legends where people transform into fearsome monsters in the dead of night. Night and darkness are strongly associated with many negative aspects of human beings and universal forces, hence representing evil. This is why in many cultures, the arrival of an eclipse, whether announced or sudden, represented a strong omen of distress for that community and the aspects that concerned them, both personally and collectively. For example, an eclipse during the planting season augured a sad time when their crops would not thrive or would not proliferate as they hoped. Furthermore, an eclipse occurring during the birth of a child in the community invited thoughts that the child would bring darkness and devastation, with these two events often associated with the arrival of an evil and unnatural being. But these are nothing more than unfounded beliefs that caused great terror in civilizations with less access to true knowledge. Therefore, it is of utmost importance to evaluate this event based on the knowledge we have today and beyond its physical representation, to give it the true spiritual and energetic connotation it holds. This eclipse is not only a reminder of the perfect synchrony of the universe and how it blends everything into a unique time and space, but also a firm reminder of how shadows exist and form an integral part of reality and of who we are. Although there are peoples and cultures that perceive the shadows and darkness brought by this eclipse as something negative, the truth is that much beyond that, this event invites us to reflect on the interplay between light and darkness, not only in a physical sense, but on a much deeper spiritual level, as we must remember that we are all composed of both light and shadows. Within every human being, there is a part represented by the light, where we see strengths and positive things, while we all also harbour a bit of darkness, a part of ourselves where negative things reside and those weaknesses we don't want to show to others. And though many would prefer not to reveal their shadows, they are still an integral part of our lives, and we cannot simply ignore them. They are an integral energetic part of being and serve a function in our lives, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. The energies of the universe and of our own being are always in a perfect balance, and even though darkness may momentarily take hold, as in eclipses, the sunlight returns to illuminate, even stronger than before. This is one of the important and profound lessons that the eclipse teaches us, always calling for reflection on the balance within each of us, especially when it comes to those fears, doubts, uncertainties, and other aspects of ourselves that represent our shadow, inviting us to confront them to emerge much more filled with light than at the outset. The secrets of enlightenment. As we have seen, beyond the astonishing astronomical event that this eclipse represents, it also carries strong symbolism that speaks to us and what we harbour within ourselves, inviting us to bear before ourselves those parts we consider unworthy of others' love. The lights of our being will always be represented by those things we consider worthy of love, recognition, and acceptance, encompassing our virtues, our strengths, the kindness, and the love we allow ourselves to give. These are undoubtedly the parts of ourselves we are not afraid to show, which we reveal with love and pride to others, even allowing them to experience a bit of it. But we cannot forget that this is not the only thing that comprises our being. And although deep within us reside shadows that speak to us of what we cannot or do not want to show to others, this part of us is composed and represented by those wounds of the past, by the deepest fears that affect our lives, and of course, by those insecurities or aspects of ourselves that we have yet to work on and strengthen. As we can see, the shadows that overshadow our lives are not actually signs of imperfection within us, because we must not forget that each and every one of us was made in complete perfection, but rather this part of us speaks to us of things we need to address, and for each one presents a different resistance or difficulty. This is why we cannot simply condemn darkness as something bad or ignore its existence within us, because even yin and yang invite us to reflect that in all that is good, there is always a bit of evil, and amidst all that is bad, there always exists something good and illuminated. Understanding this guarantees that we can open ourselves in awareness to elevate our being to a new level from which we can confront our demons and those monsters we feel reside within us, such as fear, doubt, and anxiety. We must always remember that these monsters and shadows are always possible to overcome, and although they may seem formidable at times, we are always in control and power over every aspect of our being from our consciousness, which means that none of it can dominate or adversely affect us without our prior permission. And when we decide to act upon them, we do so with assured victory. But this is not the only thing that this eclipse brings to us on an energetic level. It also invites us to reflect on how our being is in synchrony with higher and stronger plans and forces, which govern the movement of our being in the midst of this plane, just as the movement of these celestial bodies is governed in the cosmos. Although for many, the eclipse of this April 8th represents nothing more than a mere natural event that we should appreciate according to the perfect and exact calculations of the times in which our universe moves, the truth is that it results in a display of majesty in the way the universe aligns everything at precise moments. Just as the earth, the moon and the sun come together in synchrony and perfection with the forces that move them, allowing the human eye to receive the gift of this spectacle, one that can bring a message much beyond the obvious. Let us remember that in the universe, nothing is random or merely a coincidence. So often these events that we believe are everyday matters or mere coincidences end up being messages and demonstrations of the way the universe speaks to us, leading us into reflection and deep awareness of particular aspects of our existence. Each one of yous, like these celestial bodies, is being moved by much greater forces than we think, which not only act for our benefit, but also guide the being in such a way that it helps fit the parts of its plan for humanity and the entire world. The eclipse of this April 8th calls us powerfully to internalize, not only within ourselves and the parts that make up our being, but also in our role amidst the universe, because even if we haven't thought about it, we are all playing a leading role in the midst of the history and the plan that the universe has designed. The existence of each one of us fulfills an essential part of the movement of the universe for the development of the Earth and humanity, and achieving harmony with this allows us to flow better with the divine plan. The mysteries behind the eclipse. While it is an impressive event, the eclipse we are about to experience imminently on this April 8th is not simply a display of cosmic and celestial beauty. It is also an invitation to uncover deeper messages and enigmas that the universe presents. As we have remembered, we cannot simply dwell on the superficial in this matter, but we must go a bit further to see the true value and meaning of this event. The eclipse opens an important door for us to decipher the wisdom that the universe offers us, and that can undoubtedly overcome many of the barriers that humans place upon themselves from the depths of their being. Just as light always triumphs over darkness, the knowledge bestowed upon us by the universe is always capable of defeating those monsters and fears within us, allowing us to rise again with greater brightness, strength, and intensity. But not only that, we must also appreciate how at times these shadows can invade us, largely due to the same need for them and for our being to address them, instead of hiding them, as is often the case. It is not uncommon to see how humans end up censoring these shadows that compose them, largely due to the need to present a perfect appearance to others and thus meet the harsh social standards imposed by our social rhythm. However, these moments of neglecting our shadows do not make them disappear, and in fact, they only contribute to empowering them. But just as with the eclipse, after allowing these shadows to show themselves and unfold in our conscious side, we can end up transmuting these energies and ending their influence, once again letting the brightness of our light shine before the observing eyes of our lives. But this not only applies to us and our process, but it is also a reflection of this process that collectively guides humanity and the Earth, which also has its shadows and challenges, which rather than being ignored by each of us as active individuals, must be recognized, so that from there we can work on them and break the influence of these shadowy parts of humanity. Furthermore, the appreciation of the eclipse and its message not only allows us to make personal reflections on our inner selves and our state of consciousness, but also invites us to see the environment around us, understanding that in everything that surrounds us there are lights and darkness. Instead of fearing these less beautiful parts, we must look at them with wisdom and a profound ability to discern their function amidst our lives and the greater plan. In every tiny aspect of our reality, the lights and shadows of the universe come together, and each part will always obey a function within the universe's plan, so we must not stop or freeze before anything, because even in the face of the most complex situations, we can see the light and the positive force that are ready for us. Let us also remember that in every person around us there are lights and shadows, and just like us, they also have to deal with them. So often when we see others, rather than doing so with suspicion or from a critical standpoint, we must do so with empathy and compassion. Deep within each of us, we face our own challenges and battles, which may not always be visible but nonetheless exist. This eclipse invites us not only to understand the obvious, but to delve into the depths of what may not be so obvious, from which we can nourish ourselves with wisdom. To conclude this part, the eclipse also reminds us how everything in life is a cycle, one that is perfectly designed and synchronized. So there is no room for coincidences or contingencies. Everything has a purpose and profound meaning. Just as something particular comes into our lives, upon fulfilling its purpose, it will withdraw. This applies not only to things but also to stages, events, and even people. Nothing, no matter how terrible it may seem, is eternal. So let us open ourselves to understanding this in moments of darkness and challenge we face in our lives. The cosmic choreography. This eclipse we are about to witness, like all the others throughout history, presents us with a window through which to appreciate the perfect way everything moves in the universe in perfect synchrony and time, as if it were a strictly executed choreography. Let us remember that just as these celestial bodies are an important part of the universe, each and every one of us is too. Therefore, we must understand that, like the sun, the moon, and the earth, we are also moved by these energies, adapting to their rhythm and flow. Everything has a perfect way and form of execution, and there is absolutely nothing that can alter it. Observing the perfection in which everything comes together, there is also no need to think that it has to be modified in any way. As mentioned, there is no doubt about the existence of a greater plan, one orchestrated by the universe, shining in perfection and accuracy, one in which we are also active subjects, guided by the energies of the universe to avoid colliding with any other aspect or thing. This is something we often forget and overlook: the magnificence of what surrounds us, and the vast universe that houses us and moves us in perfect harmony with the energies and rhythm within it. Amidst our reality, we can find regular examples of how the universe executes everything in complete perfection, inviting us to trust in the way everything flows, especially in those forces that move us in an exact and often unconscious manner. This eclipse is nothing more than another reminder of how everything moves in an exact and synchronized way, with not only the stars obeying universal energies and mandates. Seeing this perfection, we are called to trust the process and the way everything unfolds according to the universe's provisions and will, ceasing to present that strong resistance that often hinders our progress. It's no lie that humans tend to distrust their environment and the things that happen to them, thinking that they will somehow be attacked by it. We cannot doubt that everything moves in perfection within our surroundings, especially when the universe gives us displays of greatness like this eclipse, showing us how even the stars and celestial bodies obey a cosmic perfection and movement according to a strict plan. If the universe can coordinate everything in such a unique way, including planets, stars, and other figures of the galaxy, so that they align in the ways it dictates, then everything else necessarily obeys this perfect balance and equilibrium. As if this were one of the most exact choreographies we can witness, the universe gives us a spectacle worthy of kings, in which it shows us once again that everything is under control and in order for our evolution and the advancement of everything within itself. Furthermore, this eclipse also shows us balance and synchrony in other aspects of existence, as we already mentioned, implying the embrace and confluence of lights and shadows. This means that we shouldn't just see it as a projection of shadows in the encounter of these celestial bodies, but it shows us how there can be balance even amidst apparent chaos. Although the universe assigns the day for light and the night for darkness, its creator and executor continue to maintain calm, balance, and equilibrium in the face of the apparent clash of the two, guaranteeing to all who inhabit it that there will be no collapse of the natural order. This is a moment when we can also directly appreciate the balance of things, understanding that even in moments of light, there is some darkness, and in the midst of those moments of darkness, there is also light present. This is a useful lesson applicable in all aspects of life, not just the physical. Without a doubt, this event we are about to experience is one of the most astonishing and enriching on a cosmic and spiritual level. Knowing how to appreciate it correctly gives us the assurance that we can renew ourselves from the forces at play within it and gather important teachings and reminders that the universe bestows upon us. The cosmic and divine balance. As has been evident throughout this immersion of knowledge, the theme of balance and equilibrium is intimately linked with everything in the universe, including ourselves and everything around us, in both tangible and intangible ways. The universe is composed of forces and energies that, as seen in the eclipse, blend lights and shadows, good and evil, always maintaining a delicate balance between opposites. There is nothing in the universe that should cease to exist, as everything is necessary and important within this greater plan that seeks evolution and maintains harmony in all realms and forms possible in this vast universe. Therefore, it is vital to understand how even the most challenging aspects for us are necessary and contribute to maintaining that cosmic balance. Both good and evil, light and darkness, life and death, everything is indispensable in this magical place we inhabit, and any imbalance can have serious repercussions resonating throughout the cosmos. Thus, it is of utmost importance to care for this cosmic order. The universe ensures that everything remains in balance, and every moment provides the necessary conditions for both types of forces to maintain the perfect order and balance, which is necessary for everything to sustain itself and for the universe and each planet to continue existing in the form we know it. This balance is so fragile yet crucial that we can appreciate it in every aspect of our surroundings or experiences. For example, day and night each have their place, and we cannot eliminate the nights and only have days, as we would disrupt the balance and deprive the earth of things that only the night can provide. Although many fear darkness, it offers things that light does not allow humans to experience. For example, much needed rest, during which the mind can enter a state of relaxation and calm. This darkness also gives nature the perfect opportunity for many of its plants to regenerate their strength, to display their beauty, and to rest from the intense rays of the sun. And it's not just these that benefit from the darkness, but many species end up using the shelter of the night and darkness to hunt, feed, and survive, because they are unable to do so in the light of day. Thus, by only leaving the light and its energies, many species and things would be decimated, and the structure of the known world would collapse entirely. This is something that would not only happen on Earth, but also in every realm that exists in the universe, because, while many of them align with the highest vibrational frequencies, there must still be a shadowy charge and the energy that comes from them, or else they would disrupt the necessary balance for the cosmos. This may lead many to wonder if this eclipse is a disruption of the necessary balance for the universe, and the answer to that question is no, because even in this atypical situation for humans, there is a perfect balance maintained deep within the apparent imbalance. This leads us to see how the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, even in that moment when they seem to coincide in a perfect cosmic dance, still maintain a balance between them, one that shows how even when very close to each other, they can coexist with the unique energies of each cosmic body. More than a disruption of the thread of what is natural and established, this eclipse is an imposing display of balance, equilibrium, and control of the universe. Understanding that this balance always exists, and even if we ourselves threaten it, the universe will always restore balance. We can also see how this message that the universe transmits to us through the upcoming eclipse on April 8th is applicable to ourselves and the energies we store within us, because just as there are lights within us, there are shadows that cannot be suppressed in any way, and they must be balanced through our conscious work. From this grand event, we are invited to look within ourselves, recognize which parts and aspects of our being constitute our shadows, and from there, acknowledge and embrace them, maintaining within us the perfect balance that the universe and the creative forces have ordained. Contemplation and reflection. This is not just a moment of profound cosmic importance, but also a perfect opportunity for the universe to grant us a moment of contemplation, where we can immerse ourselves in the depths of our being, observing how within us there are aspects that may even be unknown to ourselves, worthy of a moment of reflection and inner work. Although many may not understand it, the energies at play in the midst of this cosmic event are so strong that they can reach deep into every human being and serve as a catalyst for their process, allowing for a state of self-reflection. As this event approaches our reality, we will see how people increasingly feel that force, inviting them to look within themselves, where they may end up achieving unimaginable things hidden in the deepest corners of their being, behind those so-called shadows that shield them from conscious knowledge. There are truly wonderful things inside us, but they often get overshadowed by fear, doubt, and other energies stemming from our shadows, which often manifest in deep wounds capable of leaving one frozen. However, in the midst of this time, many will manage to contemplate themselves from a more comprehensive and sincere perspective, able to reveal those parts of themselves they haven't accessed before. Often, even though we try to hide parts of ourselves out of fear, societal stigmas, and insecurities that end up marking us negatively, the upcoming eclipse on April 8, 2024, will help all those who remain hidden and covering up parts of themselves to recognize them, allowing them to find the perfect balance. Ignoring these aspects of ourselves only leads them into complete disorder and imbalance, often manifesting in our exterior and undoubtedly resonating in all the things we live and experience. Contemplating ourselves is a moment of deep connection, not only with our soul, but also with the universe and our true form, the one with which we were created, and that we can reclaim with a little willingness. And although it may seem unimportant to many, it is actually essential for our existence. Each of us can contribute to the universe's balance from our own equilibrium, as we are part of that delicate structure that comprises everything we know. And although we may not always want to see it, we have the same level of responsibility for it as any other being or thing. We have been created with a perfect essence and a purpose related to the space we inhabit, humanity, and the universe itself, which we can end up forgetting in many points of our journey, but which we can reconsider from the solar eclipse we will observe. The energies encompassing this day may even align us again with our purpose and our role in the universe, understanding that we have limited time, just as with this meeting between the sun and the moon. Therefore, it is important to appreciate each day, embrace it, and immerse ourselves in the lessons, knowledge, and emotions presented to us, doing everything from the present. Let's remember that only in this way can we truly live and experience each stage and manifestation to the fullest, after which we can nourish ourselves and make the most of every little detail. Everything in this life is transient, including ourselves and everything around us, and if we do not allow ourselves to take risks based on our confidence in ourselves, we will not be able to fulfill our purpose on earth. But at the same time, we will not have this confidence if we are not able to look within ourselves and recognize each of our parts. Just as with the shadow projected onto the earth from the eclipse, everything in our existence is temporary, and even when things become complicated, there is light amidst it all, and an expiration date for the present opportunity. So let's seize it and leave behind those fears and taboos that are limiting our capabilities, as well as disturbing the correct and perfect order within us. The wonders of the cosmos. As we approach the significant date we are discussing on this occasion, we appreciate with greater clarity the panorama and structure hidden behind the apparent in the universe, which will help us understand that the universe is much more than many think, and it holds great wonders to explore. This is how we become witnesses to the truth behind the known and superficial aspects of the universe, as within each thing that surrounds us, there exists a complex and marvelous energetic background. Just as in our contemplation of truth and the energies that compose us, in regard to the universe, a similar experience will be had, making it increasingly obvious how our perception of things seems to have expanded and now goes far beyond what everyone sees. This is not about a trick or a magical formula that suddenly made us super gifted. This is a moment of enlightenment and discernment granted by the energies that will emerge from this event, which, like in the case of our own contemplation, will give us the ability to see the universe and everything around us with a different and deeper perspective. Just as if it were an individual removing the blindfolds that obstructed their vision and replacing them with lenses of light and discernment. The closer this event approaches, the clearer we will see each part that composes the universe and ourselves. This makes it possible for us to tune into the energies and forces flowing from the universe and within it, thus entering into balance with our true purpose on Earth and in the universe. we cannot overlook the fact that the universe has a purpose and a reason for everything that exists within it, including us. However, this is a truth from which we often stray due to various factors, including social dynamics and the strong influences of the ego. But amidst this eclipse we will witness on April 8th of this year, 2024, we will experience an extraordinary boost that will allow us to synchronize with the true essence of things and ourselves, giving us a unique opportunity to, like these celestial bodies, enter into perfect balance, harmony, and equilibrium, flowing from here with the universe's own energies. As we all know at this point, the universe and the elevated forces within it orchestrate and execute a plan for the evolution of all and everything, ensuring the indispensable balance for our existence and all that is known. As part of this plan, we will be subtly guided to fulfill our purpose, using forces like the one we will witness in this eclipse to assist us. However, we can also assist each other, and sharing knowledge provides us with the possibility to maintain calmness and allow many more to embrace this experience positively. So, do not hesitate to share this edition with others and let me know if it was helpful with a like. I also encourage you to scroll through the comments and write to share how you are preparing for this eclipse, as your opinion and assistance are valuable. Lastly, remember to subscribe to become part of this community seeking growth and the constant gathering of knowledge. We will meet again very soon. Until then, I send you much light amidst this eclipse.